Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to today's ceremony. Please find your seats. Throughout the ceremony, you will be given cues to stand and be seated at the appropriate times. Please be aware this event is being live streamed, so family and friends who aren't here with us today can be present online. As a reminder, during the singing of our national anthem, military members in uniform will stand at attention, and we ask all others to place your right hand over your heart. We request that all electronic devices be silenced and all line badges be removed at this time. The ceremony will begin shortly. Thank you. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of our presiding officer, Major General Gary W. Keefe, the Adjutant General, Massachusetts National Guard, welcome to the 104th Fighter Wing. I am Second Lieutenant Christopher Shays, your narrator for today's ceremony. Today we will witness the change of command ceremony where Colonel David Moon Halasi-Kun will relinquish command to the 104th Fighter Wing to Colonel Michael Shockless. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the presentation of the colors, playing the musical honors and the national anthem, sung by Vanessa Ford, followed by the invocation by Father Mateus.
May he turn to you often in prayer on this base and at our parish church. May he feel the power of your Holy Spirit guiding him. Bless his family as they continue to support him in his vocation in the military. And bless all as we support all who serve in uniform here in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts and across this nation. We ask this in all things in your name. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Thank you to the 104th Color Guard. It is Vanessa Ford for her beautiful solo, and Father will take us to those inspiring words. Before we begin, we are honored to introduce the family members here with us today. Colonel Halasi-Kun's wife, Gretchen, their daughter, Second Lieutenant Abby Halasi-Kun, and their son, Luke. Colonel Glass's wife, Lynn, their daughter, Taylor, and their sons, Cal and Archie. His parents, Dr. Michael Glass and Ms. Michelle Ewell, his sister, Captain Mallory Ford, retired, and his in-laws, Philip and Teresa Taylor. Also joining us is the Jenkins family, the Denlinger family, Creature and Sullivan families, as well as the Koch and Taylor families, and many close friends and loved ones. Please hold your applause until the end as we extend a special welcome to our distinguished visitors attending today. Air National Guard, Assistant to the Commander, Air Force Material Command, Major General Virginia Gagley, Assistant Adjutant General, Massachusetts Air National Guard, Brigadier General Lisa Anisi, Director of Staff, Massachusetts Air National Guard, Colonel Chad Forrest, and Massachusetts Air National Guard State Command Chief Master Sergeant Michelle O'Keefe. The Mayor of the City of Westfield, the Honorable Michael McKay, Massachusetts Representative for Hampton County, the Honorable Kelly Keefe, and from the City of Westfield, our Ward Representative, Councilman Bill Moniski. From the 104th Fighter Wing, Command Chief, Chief Master Sergeant Michael Gardner, and his wife, Marjorie. Chief of Staff, Colonel Chris Regan, retired, and our Honorary Wing Commander, Mr. John DeVoy. From the 102nd Intelligence Wing, Commander, Colonel Andrew St. G. Deputy Commander, Colonel Nicole Ives, and Command Chief, Chief Master Sergeant Shane McGuire. From the 103rd Airlift Wing, Connecticut National Guard, Commander, Colonel Neil Byrne III, and his wife, Lindsay. From the 158th Fighter Wing, Vermont Air National Guard, Commander, Colonel Michael Blair. From the 439th Airlift Wing, Air Force Reserves, Commander, Colonel Christopher Holland. Command Chief, Chief Master Sergeant Barbara Gilman, and Director of Mission Sustainment Community Partnership, Colonel Karen Agnes, retired. We would also like to extend a warm welcome to our former wing commander attending today, Colonel William Layden, retired, and his wife, Catherine. We also welcome the many other distinguished guests, senior commanders, senior enlisted leaders, our community partners, first sergeants, past and present barnstormers, and friends joining us for this special occasion. The change of command ceremony is deeply rooted in military tradition and predates the Norman conquest of England. In that era, a ceremony ceremony was conducted in front of unit members so that all could see the appointment of their new command. It formally signifies the transfer of command from one commanding officer to another uninterrupted. In all, 8 words are spoken, but these words signal the beginning of an intense responsibility. On battlefields, the exchange of the unit's flag was an exchange in public to witness the naming of the new leader. The modern day ceremony is also symbolic and continues to announce to all the authority of the incoming commander in the finest military tradition. These ceremonies are an important part of our military heritage that preserves tradition and stimulates esprit de corps. At this time, it is my pleasure to introduce our presiding officer, Major General Gary Keefe.
Hey, good afternoon, everyone. First, before I talk about these two extraordinary individuals and really what they have done and what they continue to do, I want to talk about this extraordinary wing, 104th Fighter Wing. You know, 104th Fighter Wing it's an organization that has had it woven into its DNA nothing but excellence from the time it was formed back in the 1947 time frame. As we look back and we're going on to the next chapter of the F-35 aircraft, I want to thank each and every one of you for helping us, quite frankly, win that competition, win that battle. And it was something that was not just done with the folks that wear the uniform. It was a textbook example of what needs to be done to make sure that the best units get the best airframes and the best weapon systems. And part of that team, as was mentioned, is the folks from the city of Westfield, our congressional delegation, led by Rich Neal, with the mayor, with Kelly, the city council. The way this community supports the men and women of the 104th Fighter Wing is not something that is common across the United States anymore. At one time it might have been, but really here at Westfield, it's an anomaly, the support that this community gives and fights for to make sure that this base is not just here today, but will be here a century from now. So I want to thank everyone for that, to begin with that. What I've asked of you, the members of the 104th Fighter Wing, is, where do you want to play your role, and where do you want to see this unit be 50 years from now? And I don't care what your rank is, what your stature is, how do you want to fit into that equation? How do you want to be part of that history? Because that's a beautiful airplane, and it's supposed to be a 50-year mission. We need you young leaders now to start thinking critically. What's the next step? Things are moving so fast in this world with technology, weaponry, with systems that need smart people and innovative thinkers to figure out how we can counter them. This unit is going to convert to that aircraft and that mission and get back to its roots, multi-role fighter. But what's important besides the threats we face right now, and as you look, I'm not telling anyone anything they don't know. As you look and see what's going on with Russia, Ukraine, and everything else, and let's be honest, Putin wants to embarrass Ukraine. Putin wants to embarrass the United States. I don't see any deal happening there. So as you look at Russia, as you look at the People's Republic of China, and President Xi, and what they're doing in the Pacific, as you look at North Korea, you look at Iran, you look at what's going on with violent extremist organizations around the world, that aircraft and the mission you will do when you are deemed to be mission ready, you will play a vital role. And I'm sure you will be the best of the best, as you always were. You were the best A-10 unit around. You've been the best F-15 unit. Recently, winning the awards out there at the big competition there. So this unit always does the best, and it's ingrained in your DNA. So I need you to think, how can you help to make sure that this unit and the mission is going to be relevant in the next 50 years, in the next century? You need to get out there and get involved. You need to influence. And when I say influence, You need to make sure that we are talking to everyone from the mayor and the city council, up through the congressional delegation, all the way up to the White House. We need it now more than ever. Folks, let's be honest. It's no surprise. Massachusetts is not exactly President Trump's #1 state. So we fight for everything we get. If you go back and look at what we had to do to make sure we got this aircraft, we did everything possible as a team. And that team wasn't just, Moon and shot. It started with Sling Blade as part of the team. As we kind of started working forward, working with Congressman Rich Deal, working with the city, working with Senator Warren. It came down to the final day of the previous administration where we got the record of decision signed before the new administration came in. That's how close it was. Some of us sold our kids to do that. But that's what it's like. So we need to think, how can you influence? And what's out there? And what you can do to develop those relationships and those partnerships and capitalize on the strengths that Massachusetts has in technology, in education, and in defense. Massachusetts is #3 in defense spending in the country. #3. Small little state, but we're #3. How do we capitalize on that? So I'd ask you to look back to see how you can get involved to do that. Now I want to talk about these two individuals. So, two great guys. I was actually shocked when I was asked to come here. Not that I was asked to come, but that they wanted me to put a service dress on. That's like unheard of in the pilot world. But I did. I put my service dress on and hobbled my way in here. First, I want to talk about Moon. I got to know Moon when he came in here, when Jethro brought him on. Just right away, you can't help but like him. Moon is actually he's probably one of the most personable individuals I know. And between these two guys, there's not an ounce of arrogance in either one of these individuals. They actually, they're individuals that understand everything you do, you're taking care of that. Their job is to take care of you. The humility of these individuals is fantastic. On top of that, as we work through this F-35, the experience that Moon has had, which is part of the Director's Action Group down at the Pentagon, and the other things that he's done coming off active duty, like a lot of us did, coming into the Guard, he's developed a hell of a reputation. And this is not the end for Moon. I know he's going out to the airlines. We are planning to bring him back, and he will be the Assistant Adjutant General for Air, and kind of continue to work these long-term plans as we convert, but as we look past for both the 104th and the 102nd, as we look for future missions. So I want to thank Moon. Moon is an individual, when I asked him, I think I pretty much had the same conversation with you that I had with Shot, that I had with Shaggy. It's pretty much, hey, you want to be a wing commander? I need a wing commander. And each of these guys, somewhere along the road, probably thought, I don't have the skill set to be a wing commander. You do. Being a successful commander is 90% passion, 5% knowledge, 5% surround yourself with the smart people that know how to take care of you. And all three of these individuals have had the passion to kind of keep moving forward. They all could have left at any time and done something else, probably made a lot more money. But they're true Americans, they're patriots, and they want to make sure that the United States and the way of life we have continues on. So Moon, I'm looking forward to having you up at the headquarters with us, myself and Lisa and the rest of the team. And I want to thank you for taking that job to be the wing commander. Didn't I make you be the support group commander first? So, which was good, right? You got to be the mayor before you be the king. So, yeah. But I want to thank Moon, because I'll tell you what, from the day he's stepped into the role, we've been moving forward very fast. So Moon, thank you for everything. Gretchen and family, please, thanks for letting us continue to kind of have him and keep him working towards not what's just good for the Massachusetts National Guard to keep us relevant, but what's good for the nation. So thank you. Hey, Moon, so the governor asked me to give this to you. It's going to come up as I'll read it. Commonwealth of Massachusetts to Colonel Moon Halasi-Kun. On behalf of the residents of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, I am pleased to please confer upon you the Governor's citation of recognition for more than 27 years of dedicated service to the United States Air Force and Massachusetts National Guard. We commend your leadership as commander of 104th Fighter Wing, Barnes Air National Guard Base, Commonwealth. Thanks you and wishes you continued success and happiness in the years that come. 6th day of December, 2025. Signed, Laura T. Healy, Governor, Kimberly Driscoll, Lieutenant Governor. So I want to thank the Governor and Adam Foyberg, the Mass Task Force lead, brought this and asked me to present it to you. I want to thank the Governor for presenting this to you. I want to thank her even more for signing your letter of indispensability that allows me to pull you back in. So thank you. Next, I want to talk about Shot. Shot Glass is probably one of the nicest guys I've ever met in my life. You know, and he's a guy who never says no. Just telling him and the family, I need somebody to go to Paraguay as we continue to kind of develop our partnerships. So those of you, I think a lot of you know, we've had a state partnership with Paraguay for 25 years. I think we are at 10 years partners with Kenya. We're working a partnership with Ireland right now as the Irish Air Corps looks to transition to become an Irish Air Force and focus on what they're still calling air defense. We call it ACA. So we're working with them. We've got a partnership with the Israeli Home Front Command for cyber type of initiatives that we started, as well as we've got something with every year we go German Armed Forces. Things we run with them, things we run with us. So we have actually kind of expanded our state partnership. I'm going to talk to the team about putting in a bid. Denmark is up, and see if that's something we're interested in. It is Denmark, I believe. It's got that 35 repair facility, right? So we talk about that, see if we can expand over to Europe. But I want to talk about, as I talk about Shot, where I'm going with the story is I need somebody to go to Paraguay with me, and Shot jumped right in there, and he was great. We had a good time. But he would go back to, after we get done eating and drinking, and he'd go back, and he was always working on the computer. And then one day I didn't see him. I had to go do something. And he ended up getting bit by something, and he ended up getting sick. It's like a TC fly or something weird, I think. And so I felt bad. I said, you know, if you don't ever want to come to Paraguay with me again, I don't blame you. And maybe it's me, because the next trip I took this guy, Mr. Allen, with us to Kenya, and he got bit by something. He was in the hospital for like 3 days. So whatever you guys, whatever, you know, old spice you're wearing or whatever, you might not want to wear that anymore. But Shot, I'm really looking forward to, congratulations on coming back and transitioning. Really looking forward to where you're going to bring them in. Like I said, you're approachable, you're a great guy, you're incredibly smart. And I'll tell you what, the type of leadership that is developed here in this unit is probably the most important thing that you can do as commanders, right? You guys have developed a hell of a bench, and I only see it getting better. So I'm looking forward to seeing where you're going to take the organization. Quite frankly, you're definitely, don't ever think you weren't the best person to take this job because you were. Because we probably thought the same thing. So thanks so much for stepping up. It is a demand. I want to thank the Glass family for allowing Shot to do this. It is really, really important, as I mentioned, not just for the wing, not just for the country, but honestly, we compete daily. And this is when we were talking one time getting ready for the F-35, when I believe that you had me put it into the letter that we were sent out. So just so you know, we were never supposed to get this airplane. It was supposed to go to Louisiana. We fought hard, and I remember you had to send this performance counts, and performance does count. Competition counts. And we are not just competing globally. We compete and are competing with the active duty and the reserve and the other services in a bunch of different areas. So in order to compete and win, you got to be a great team. And a great team's got to have a great coach. And I got to tell you, these two guys have been the two greatest coaches I've ever seen. So thank you so much for your time. Thank you to your families and to the airmen of the 104th Fighter Wing. Thanks for having me back home here, and thanks for everything you do. Usually you don't see me, quite frankly, that often. I don't worry much, man. I know you're in good hands, doing the right thing. So thank you so much. Merry Christmas to you all. Happy Hanukkah, happy holidays. Thank you.
Thank you, General Keefe. At this time, it is my pleasure to introduce the commander of the 104th Fighter Wing, Colonel David Halasi-Kun. I don't normally write down the words I want to convey, but I did this time because they're important. First off, good afternoon, families, friends, distinguished guests. Just as tag indicated, Mr. Mayor, Kelly Pease, Bill Halasi, our partners, I don't know if Mr. Shear is here or Bill Gunnet, but all our partners, we can't be successful at what we do without you and the support of the community. So thank you for being here. It's more than just symbolic. We've done so much together over the last 3.5 years, and having you here today means a lot to me personally. So thank you. Good afternoon, Barnstormers. I'm honored to stand here before you today, last time as your wing commander. I've reflected over the last couple of weeks on what we've accomplished together. I feel overwhelmed, full of pride in everything that the 104th has accomplished. I'm humbled by your commitment to the mission and to each other. I've also thought a lot about my mentors through the years. You know, their words echoing in my head all week. Sling, Pete, L.A., Comet, Cobra, Jethro, Catfish, Jake, all of you, and their guides, right? The words that stick, like, leave the wing better than you found it, right? Ghost of Christmas Past, leave the wing better than you found it. Well, when I took the position 3.5 years ago, we had 21 F-15s on the ramp, and today, I had to borrow a jet from Vermont for the ceremony because our ramp is a little bit empty, so how am I doing so far? I leave it better than we found it. Well, lack of jets aside, we're an incredible team. I hope you feel the same way. We're an unstoppable force, a collection of individuals linked in purpose and inherently driven to excellence. You can't teach that, you can't order it. Serving as the Barnstormer commander has been the privilege of my lifetime. And thank you, General Keefe. Thank you, General Gaglio, for giving me this opportunity, for trusting me with this precious crown jewel of the state of Massachusetts, and then guiding me along the voyage. You were always there for a call, especially on all the tough stuff that came up. You're great leaders, and we're lucky to have you here at the 104th, guiding the way for all of us. Every day I witness selfless services inside this wing, and it's hard to describe, but it's impossible to forget. And it wasn't the jets at all, as magnificent as that F-15 was. It wasn't the technology. It wasn't our processes and procedures. It wasn't the facilities. It was you. It was all of you. That's what made this place the best location to come to work anywhere on this planet, as far as I was concerned. I woke up every day excited for what was next. Excited to be part of this team. You're the ones who show up day after day, night after night to keep this wing lethal, to keep this wing ready, and to take care of each other. And why do you do it? Because you care. Because you rhyme to us?
Because we give a shit, sir.
Because you give a shit, that's right. Because you give a shit. Because you care about the mission and you care about each other, and that's not something you can order. I can't order you into compliance on that. I can't mandate it in a memo. That's culture. That's cultivated through the years. That's something that we work on and that we make sure we get it right. That's your heart. And you serve with your heart. And I see it every day. And that's what makes this wing unstoppable. That's what's going to carry SHOT and all of you forward in the F-35 and hit all the challenges that are ahead. And there's a ton. This wing is family. Not a perfect family. Not a perfect family. We've all seen the memes and the stuff posted on social media, which some of them are absolutely solid gold, by the way, good work. But we're a real family, right? We even have a couple crazy uncles who defect to Russia every now and then. We're a family that laughs together, we mourn together, we argue occasionally, and then we get right back to work and we get the mission done. We're a family that brings food when someone's struggling and covers shifts when someone needs help. And somehow we know when another ever is struggling, and we step in, and we put out our hand, and we lift them up. To my family, and all the military families in the room, thank you. You are the foundation of everything that we do. You endure the late nights, the missed events, the unexpected TDYs, and the constant stress and uncertainty, because we are tasked to protect and respond in a world that's full of stress and uncertainty. Your sacrifice, you all sacrifice more, quietly and more often than anybody else in the military. Our families are the heart of what we do. This mission would fail quite literally without you. Thank you for loving your Mars Stormer and for loving this team. My family specifically, Gretchen, you are the best, most beautifulest patient woman in the entire world. And I'm charged for 5 more minutes, so that's an irrefutable fact by anybody inside this room. So, Abby, Claire, you're watching the way of school, and Luke, you grew up here with the 104th, right? We have pictures of you running around the fighter wing, playing with all the other kids. Like, you have been part of this family your whole lives. Your whole lives. You are Mars Stars. You care about each other. You care about our family. You're empathetic leaders. You're everything that I hope for in my kids, and you're turning out to be everything that I dreamed that you accomplish in your lives. You make me so proud, and I love you all so much. All right, back to the other two. All right, to Shaggy's here somewhere. Where's Shaggy? Even though he left it, there he is. Even though he left it at 1 second, you're part of this command team. But to Command Chief Jeffers, to Shaggy, to Chief Gardner, all our commanders and their chiefs, thank you. We have so many experiences together, I'm not even going to list them one by one, but you have been in the trenches with me. We have seeked out the sun in the darkest of times, and we have found it every time, and you're the ones who have made that possible. Thank you for making me look better than I deserve. You were my sounding board, you were my conscience, you were my comic relief. You kept me sane, you kept me focused, and you kept me centered. You told me when I was right, far more importantly, you told me when I was wrong. Thank you for your honesty, your strength, your trust in the direction that we took the wing, and for following me and steering me at the same time. You and your devotion to the people is exemplary, and I applaud all of you for everything that you did for this wing under this command. To our airmen, if it's not clear, you are the heart of the wing. Everybody has said it. Each and every one of you, from the lowest airman to the highest chief. You are creative, you are resilient, you are hilarious, and absolutely relentless in your pursuit of excellence, and do not lose that. You taught me more about leadership and humility than any professional military education ever could. And no one can ever really capture in a book what 1,000 people can teach you about leadership. We train to fight wars, we train to win battles. You might have heard me talk before about the infinite game, right? But there is, here at the 104th, there is no winning, right? This never stops. The end state that we work towards in the 104th is just making this place better, handing it off to the next team, and the game continues. So just like Simon Sinek would say, and he's written about in the infinite game, the game continues and the players continue to change. Over the years, I've talked about it often enough. I think even Steve Reynolds read it, even though Steve Reynolds doesn't even know how to read, so that's a whole other discussion. For the rest of you, here's the short version. Leadership isn't about winning, it's about building something that outlasts you, something that continues to grow after you leave, something rooted in trust, in teamwork, in empowerment, and in bold action. Thank you, Slade, for that. This wing embodies the infinite mindset. You have improve this basic mission, not because someone demands it, not because someone is telling you that you have to, but because you care too much not to. You support each other because you understand that the strength of the wing is the strength of its people. And you pursue excellence not for recognition, but because you have pride in what this wing represents. And our image to the outside matters, and our performance matters. It matters so that we can hand this place off, a brighter torch than when we receive it. As I hand off command today, I don't feel like stepping away from a job. I feel like I'm passing a torch that was passed to me from Sling, and before Sling, the commanders before him. And it's a torch that's burning brighter today than it was when I received it from Sling. And it's not because of me, it's because of you. The next commander is inheriting something that is extraordinary. We are recognized nationally as something that doesn't exist other places. Other wings come here and they say, how do you do this? And the simple answer is, I have 1,000 reasons. Because you give a shit. We are a wing that believes in its people. It plays the infinite game the right way. To Colonel Glass, shot. You're about to lead the greatest team in the Air Force. I think you know it. You've been part of it. They're going to challenge you. They're going to inspire you. They're going to give you a couple heart attacks along the way. But my challenge to you, you show up every day with your best game, and they're going to meet you there. I promise. Trust them, listen to them, enjoy every moment, because this goes on by way faster than you think. To this incredible wing, thank you. Thank you for your service, your sacrifice, your humor, your trust, the privilege of leading you. I'd be proud, I'd be humble, I'd be deeply grateful to my commanders for allowing me to have this experience. Keep taking care of each other. Keep giving a shit. Keep playing the infinite game together. Shot. Leave the wing better than you found it. Maybe start with some airplanes. Thank you. Thank you, Colonel Halasi-Kun. At this time, a presentation of roses are given to the spouses of the outgoing and incoming commanders, serving as a symbol of respect and remembrance, signifying the importance of support and care within military families and the Barnstormer community. We present red roses to Colonel Halasi-Kun's wife, Gretchen, representing sorrow at their departure from command and honoring her faithful and loyal service to the 104th Fighter Wing. Yellow roses are presented to Colonel Glass's wife, Lynn, symbolic of friendship and extending a warm welcome to the 104th Fighter Wing Command Team. Additionally, in recognition of their service, flowers are presented to his daughter, Taylor, and the commander's coin is presented to his sons, Cal and Arjun. Ladies and gentlemen, Colonel Halasi-Kun will now receive his last salute as commander of the 104th Fighter Wing.
Wait! And hook! Breathe and car! Turn. Honor service. Make Barnstormers. Order. Car!
At this time, please stand for the change of command.
What was the order?
Attention to orders. Department of the Air Force, Special Order number GS26-02. Under the provisions of AFI 51-509, Colonel Michael E. Glass is appointed Commander, 104th Fighter Wing, effective 6 December 2025, by order of Major General Gary W. Keefe, the Adjutant General, Massachusetts National Guard. my pleasure to introduce for the first time Colonel Michael Glass, commander of the 104th Fire.
All right. Well, I must say I am humbled to stand here on this pickleball court of honor. I have started the joke otherwise I'd be too nervous to get it out there, so I truly am honored and humbled to be here today. I'll get to a lot of thank yous and a little bit of some platitudes later about how I feel about the wing, but just please, if you take nothing from what I'm about to say, know that I am truly humbled, I'm truly honored, and I couldn't be happier to stand in front of you today as the new commander of the 104th Fire Wing. So it means the world to me. So I'll get right into it. General Keefe, so thank you for being here. Thank you for entrusting me with this position. Thank you for the guidance over the past few years. Thank you for the malaria and Paraguay. It wasn't malaria, but it's close enough, and it's a better story if I say malaria. I promise you, I will continue the work that Moon has done for the past several years, and the command team that we have in place will not let you down. This is my sole promise to you. General Gaglio, ma'am, General Casey, ma'am, thank you for being here. I look forward to working with you more in the future. I'm honored with your presence here today as well. Mayor McCabe, sir, we look forward to spending time with you and all the other local reps that are here. I'll talk shortly about this because it has already been said, but the connection between the 104th and the local community, I think it's more than a connection because I think we are one community together. I'm not originally from here, but I can tell you since I've been here since 2014, I certainly feel as though I'm a part of the Westfield, Greater Springfield area community, and I am truly honored to get to work with you folks in the future, and I just really humbled. I need to take a moment to recognize someone who has not received nearly enough credit for today. Heather Kearns, if you could stand up, please. Heather is our executive assistant. She has been working on this, I'm not kidding, for 6 months. And she deserves at least 3 to 4 hours, 20 days off after this. And Heather, I cannot thank you enough from the bottom of my heart. I know there's a lot of other people who have helped you, but you were the linchpin, and we would not be here in the beautiful setting and with all the things that have been set up without you. So thank you so much. Ms. Ford, that was wonderful. Thank you so much for that. It's about the third time I've heard you sing. Every time I hear you sing, I'm ready for another 22 years of service. So maybe not 22 years from now. We shouldn't do that because I'll be too old by then. But you are a wonderful singer. Thank you so much for honoring the wing and the United States of America with that song. It's wonderful. Colonel Kelly Blair. Thanks for the jet, dude. It's awesome. Round of applause, please, for the... Colonel Gilmer is here, the team from Vermont, for bringing this jet down. I gotta be honest, when I asked about 6 months ago if this was possible, I gave it about a 1 in 104 chance of it happening. But I had to ask, and the fact that you made it happen despite snowstorms this morning, and to be really honest, a real-world mission that is ongoing for your wing every single day, to come down here and honor us with this airplane is spectacular. If you saw what the other option would have been to bring it here, it would have made you sad, and I refuse to do that. The F-15 is a mighty, mighty aircraft, but seeing her without her wings on and without engines is not acceptable. So I'll talk a little bit about the F-35 and the wing here in a minute, but if you don't get a chance to thank Colonel Blair for having something pretty to look at besides my wife today, please thank him. I didn't plan on that one. That was not the joke I had planned, but that was okay. The other command teams from Westover, from the guidance, leadership, mentorship, and mostly friendship that we've had over the past several years. You're an outstanding wing commander, and I truly look forward to working more with you in the future. And I can't believe they let us live so close to each other. It has to be some sort of offset problem amongst us. Anyway, okay. Friends of travel, mental, shifty, wild. You guys, everyone kind of covering different facets of my career over the past few years. It means a lot to me that you guys are here. I'm truly honored that you guys taking the time to be here, to meet my family if you haven't met them, to hang out with the rest of the Northerners, and to truly just take your time to be here. I can't thank you enough. I look forward to hanging out with you guys a little bit more. Father CJ, thank you so much. I think you're batting 1,000 on changes of command, so from fire squadron to operations group to my group.
Means we've been talking too long.
All right, fire. Is this gonna work? Yes. And we're back. Okay. Well, CJ, thank you. The connection that you have with our person in my family, but also the local community means so much to me. Thank you for taking the time to be here. Thank you, as you all know, priests are quite busy on the weekends. So I know what it took for you to be here, and it means the world to me. I love how close our family is with St. Mary's Parish, and I can't thank you enough. Okay. Dr. Jeff, Noah, Ellie, neighbors, thank you guys for being here as well. Again, on the same vein as local connections, I really appreciate you guys as well. My Aunt Pam and Prescott could not make it today. They were watching on TV, but I would be remiss if I didn't mention them. And I do appreciate their love and support over the years. The Jenkins family, my Aunt Denise and my Uncle Larry. My Uncle Larry served decades in the Air Force. The both of them were the first contact I had with the Air Force many years ago. And by far, they are I would say, besides them and my grandfather, the reason that I joined the military. The examples they set were, awesome. I was just going to say that, otherwise I'm not going to be able to finish this. And their daughter Emily is here today. The rest of her family couldn't make it, but Emily showed me what a military brat looked like growing up, and I was like, yeah, that looks pretty cool. We can do that. So I appreciate you being here as well. I love you guys very much. The Taylor family, if you spend more than about 15 minutes with me, I will tell you about my wife's family, because they are amazing and interesting. My wife, Lynn, is 2 years older than a set of quadruplets, and all 4 quadruplets are here today, and they brought a couple of their children. To them, I'm Uncle Shot, and it's one of the best jobs in the world. We already have an Uncle Mike. I'm more than happy to be Uncle Shot, and I love all of you guys. I'm so glad that you guys are here to help me celebrate, but really to keep Lynn in check and make sure she is doing what she needs to do to get through this weekend. But very grateful you guys are here. My sister Mallory is here. Her husband is a UPS pilot. I heard it's busy this time of year at UPS. He's also an Air Force veteran, Air Force pilot. He couldn't make it today. But Mallory, thank you for being here, a retired public affairs officer, and still working for the Department of War as a public affairs civilian at this point. I'm very, very honored that you're here. Obviously, Mallory, we've been through a lot together. You've been my personal public affairs officer many, many times when I've called and asked. And then, unfortunately, for our current public affairs folks, they have to hear about what her opinion is and then move on from there. But she is an outstanding public affairs officer. She does amazing work, and I'm super blessed to have you as a kind of a guiding light in my life. So thank you. My mom and dad, thank you. I've said this before, but it bears repeating. They taught me that a good education and working hard will get you just about whatever you desire in life. And by prioritizing hard work, prioritizing education, I feel as though I can stand here today where I am. And thank you very much. We could go on and on for hours about all the things you've done for me, but thank you. And thank you for being here. I love you very much. Okay. Lynn and the kids. I gotta be honest, this is difficult for me, but I'm going to do it anyway. Lynn, you, I may be the commander of this base now, but you are the commander of the house, for sure, and have been. And I know there's a lot of spouses out there that would say the same thing, but I really mean it. Like, nothing would happen if it wasn't for the efforts of my wife. She splits that with the time she spends at Shriners Children's Hospital as a physical therapist, doing truly amazing work there. And if it wasn't for you, I would not be standing here. If it wasn't for you, I would not be able to split my time with my military family and my family, if you will. So I love you very much. I cannot reiterate how important you are. I've heard people say that you are probably a better fighter pilot than I am, and believe it or not, that is actually true. She is driven, she is focused, she is unbelievably capable at her job, both as a mother and as a physical therapist. I'm extremely lucky to have you. For the kids, you are wonderful children. You're behaving very well, and I'm very proud of you. You are your own individuals, but you are very much your mother and I. I could get into specifics, but in the interest of time, I'm going to save it for later, but I'm unbelievably proud of you. The young men and women that you are turning into are something that if I'm proud about what I have here in the 104th, I'm infinitely more proud of what you guys are. So thank you so much for being here. Well, you didn't have a choice, but thank you for being such great kids and supporting your mom and dad. Okay, Moon, Gretchen, Luke, and Lieutenant Abby, thank you guys for being here. Moon, one of my favorite memories of flying the Eagle was doing the flyby for Abby's graduation parade. It was awesome. We timed it right after the Wings of Blue was parachuting in, and we did not hit them. And that was it sounds like that would not be hard to do, but I was a little bit concerned. But that was a wonderful event. What I want to say about Moon is a little bit repetitive, but what he's done for this wing is incalculable. What he's done for me is provided friendship, mentorship, and another, like I said, a guiding light for the last decade. And I've always looked up to you. I will continue to always look up to you. I value our friendship and what we have essentially built here, mainly you building it, but built together as a team. And I've always loved working for you, and I will continue to enjoy working for you. So thank you for everything you've done for this wing. Okay, to the wing. If you've been fortunate or unfortunate enough to hear me talk about the future of this base, I've become a bit of a broken record. You're going to hear a little bit more about it now. We have, in my opinion, a very, very, very simple job that is going to be very, very, very difficult to do. Our job in the next 3 to 4 years is to bring these airplanes to Western Massachusetts, get them, ourselves, and our facilities ready for combat. That is it. That is the only thing we have to do over the next 4 years, is get ourselves ready for combat. I'm not saying you get ready for combat, I'm saying we will deploy as a wing, we will execute as a wing, and every single one of us will be a part of this. The mandate I've asked you, or given to you, is what I would consider essentially the end state, as Moon kind of alluded to, is combat forces prepared for commander taskings at a time and place of their choosing. It's a little bit of a mouthful, but it deserves you to hear what I mean by that. Combat forces. If you have a uniform on right now, you are a combat force. I don't care what your job is. I don't care what you do when you show up at work. I expect you to be prepared for combat. You're going to do that by being good at your job. I'll talk about that more in a second. Combat commanders, what do I mean by that? Obviously, we have multiple combat commanders around the world. The first one that we're going to have to get ready for is NORTHCOM. It's preparing Barnes to sit alert in the F-35. That's one avenue that we need to be prepared for. Obviously, we have CENTCOM, INDOPACOM, EUCOM, SOUTHCOM, other combat commanders around the world that are going to require a different level of expertise and a different tactic in order to meet the commander's intent. We need to be ready for that as well. I also think that the governor is a combatant commander. She may at any time ask us to support the Commonwealth. Maybe not with combat, but certainly in front of difficult issues or difficult and trying situations. We need to be prepared for that. Simple, right? I think there's a lot of work to be done, work to continue, I guess is a better way to say that. So how are we going to do it? By being good at your job. More eloquently said, I'm looking for tactical expertise for the pursuit thereof. Very simply, I need you to work hard. Be as good as you can be at doing your job in peacetime, when you're not being shot at, so that when the bullets start flying, or when your food is taken away, or when your network is taken down, you don't have to think twice about how to fix that F-35. You don't have to think twice about how to defend the base. You don't have to think twice about how to fly the F-35. You already know how to do that because we've trained ourselves appropriately for the past 3 years. And now as things start to get hectic, we fall back on our training. And most importantly, we go to combat and then we come home. That's my sole promise to you. The last thing that I'm going to talk about is our second to last thing. I know, I'm almost done. We're running out of battery again. The second to last thing is my contracts to you. I owe you 3 things. And if you've heard me talk, then this will sound somewhat familiar. The first thing I owe you is empathy. More specifically, I owe you tactical empathy, which is not figuring out how your feelings are. It's figuring out what you need. And you, in this case, could be plural or it could be singular. The individual's needs versus the wing's needs versus the unit's needs may vary. I'm telling you that I will figure out what you need. Your job is to articulate what you need, especially if you're a commander. And if you don't have it, you have to let me know. And I'll provide it to you. Notice I didn't say want. I said need. Mick Jagger wrote a song about that a long time ago. But that's what I'm getting at. The second thing that I owe you is responsibility. The understanding of responsibility. What is my responsibility? But most importantly, what is not my responsibility? If it's not my responsibility, then it is your responsibility. And I guarantee you, if it is your responsibility, I will get out of your way and I will let you fulfill that responsibility. It's my sole promise to you that if it is your job to do, I will not get in the way. And then lastly, is leadership. I owe you leadership. When empathy gets murky, when responsibility is in question, I promise you that I will make a decision and we will move out. I may have to make that decision again later, but you will not get a lack of decision out of me. I will follow through, I promise you. And I hope if you're a commander or a supervisor or an SEL in this room, you take those words to heart. It is the same for your folks. Okay, lastly, I've been lucky enough to have this flag, the Commonwealth of Massachusetts flag, sitting here this entire time. And if you've never read the motto of the Commonwealth, I hope you do. I'm about to translate it for you. Well, CJ, I don't need you to read it in Latin, but I think if there's anybody here, it would be you that could do it. But what does the Commonwealth's motto say? It says, by the sword we seek peace, but peace only under liberty. We are the sword. We are responsible for keeping our sword forged and sharp, so that when it comes time to provide violence for a Quebec commander, we are ready. Make no mistake, we do not look for that. We seek peace. But you better believe when it comes time, we will be the best in the world at providing Quebec commanders violence. And I promise you that I will be there to lead you when the time comes. Thank you.
Thank you, Colonel Glass. Ladies and gentlemen, Colonel Glass will now receive his first salute as commander of the 104th Fire Wing.
Wait and hunt. Freeze and hunt. Sir, we look forward to coming with you. Order. March.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand in closing with the singing of the Air Force song. This concludes today's ceremony. We invite you to come up and congratulate Colonel Glass on his command and join us for light refreshments. Thank you for attending.